Welcome back to Shavano Outdoors YouTube channel, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you the gear that I take in late spring to early summer. I'm going to start on the outside of my pack and then slowly work my way on the inside, showing you each piece of gear along the way and why I use it. In addition, if you're interested in buying any of these pieces of gear for yourself, I'll have links down below in the description to my Amazon affiliate page where you can pick some up at no extra cost to you, but it would really help me out. The first item on the top here is going to be my chair. This is the REI FlexLight Air, and I haven't tried any other chairs out, but just from sitting in them in the store, this one actually seemed the most stable. It was also the lightest and the cheapest one on the market. The next item that I have on the outside is going to be my sun hoodie. Now normally if I was hiking I would be wearing this, but this is something new I'm trying out this year. Instead of sunscreen with a hat and a gaiter or something, I'm just going to try out the sun hoodie. It's just a North Face, super lightweight hoodie, no zippers, no drawstrings, no nothing. It's UPF 40, I believe. I chose a light color because that should be cooler in the sun. The next two items in the front of my pack are going to be my rain gear. So the first piece I have is going to be my Kuyu Storm Shell rain pants. Now they are a pretty thick, heavy duty fabric. I'm still debating on whether or not I want to switch to a poncho this year, especially in the south. It's pretty humid in the summertime, and when it rains like that, your gear can wet out pretty easily no matter how breathable it is. So I'm still on the fence about what to do. If you have any suggestions for great rain gear during hot, humid weather, let me know in the comments down below. My rain jacket is a Patagonia Storm Shell. So one thing I really love about this is on the bottom, it's got like a wind skirt that you can wrap around your waist to keep it from blowing up and prevent rain and wind from getting underneath you. Continuing in the front pouch, the next thing I have is going to be my Hygiene Kit. I keep this in a little Kuyu Diddy Bag, so I use this for hunting as well because the orange is nice and easy to see if I leave it somewhere. And on the inside of that, I keep toilet paper, my Dirt Saw Deuce No. 2 trowel, a container of Body Glide for chafing, the Keratin bug spray. This thing is phenomenal, especially for ticks. A little travel toothbrush that you can flip around and stick in to have an extra handle. I don't like the little toothbrushes that you can use just with your fingers, because when you're out backpacking and camping, your hands are going to be dirty and you don't want to be sticking those in your mouth. That's how you can get sick. I've got a partial full tube of toothpaste, contacts because my eyes are bad, so I need to see, and a little mini bottle of Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. This stuff is biodegradable and it's safe for the environment, and it works really well for cleaning your hands and even dishes. I only have three more things on the outside of my pack here. The next one is going to be a map of the area that I'm going to. If I have a paper map for the area, then I will take it with me, and if not, I will try to get one in that area when I go to hike there. Next thing is a first aid kit. This is one I just kind of put together myself from a couple other kits, just some essential stuff in a Ziploc baggie, so it's pretty lightweight, but I have all the necessary items in here for anything. One thing I do carry that I don't see a lot of other backpackers carry is a tourniquet. I think that's something that's pretty important and could save a life if you ever have a really bad cut. The next things, a couple more things I have is some blister tape, a little ace bandage, snake bite kit, gauze pads, and just some general over-the-counter medicines and antibiotic cream and band-aids. Last thing in the front pouch is going to be my water filtration system. This probably one of my favorite filters. It filters super quickly. It's the Katadyn Be Free. It's super lightweight. I think it only weighs like, I don't know, 2 ounces. It only costs about 20 bucks, which is really good, and the lifespan is amazing. And you can see the membranes right in there, so it's super easy to rinse out and clean afterwards, so you can extend the life of your filter. And then to go with that, I have the Hygiene Seeker 2-liter bag. So the filter just screws right onto the top there, and I fill this up with water, and then I can either hang it up and just let gravity drain it, or I can squeeze it to filter it faster. Then after the front pouch is empty, the only other things really I have on the outside are going to be my 2 smart water bottles on either side. So these are the 1-liter smart water bottles, and in the summertime that's usually plenty to get you to the next water source. And if it's not, I can fit 2 in each side pocket and I can carry 4 liters in addition to bringing a bladder if I need to. And then on the other side of the pack, attached to my shoulder strap here, I have some bear spray. And it comes in an elastic shoulder pouch just to hold it right there. The next things on the outside are going to be my hip belt pockets. On the left side here, I keep my electronics pouch. So inside of this, it's just a little like trifold pouch here. I keep my cords here, and here I have another GoPro mount with a light, and then in the bottom I keep all of my GoPro batteries for filming. In the other hip belt pouch, I just keep some snacks for trail. Alright, before we get into the inside, I want to talk about this backpack a little bit. So this is the Hyperlight Southwest 55 liter. I got a REI in their return/use section for like 70% off, so you cannot beat that. But I really love it. It's made out of Dyneema, and it's got a nylon face fabric, I believe. But I really like the roll top that it has on it, which makes it really weatherproof. I still put a pack liner on the inside because I've heard that it can leak behind the shoulder straps there when it's raining pretty hard. I love the huge stretch pocket on the outside there, and they have another version that like mesh on the outside, but I like this version just because if you ever are on a really overgrown trail or you have to do some off-trail hiking, this just protects everything on the inside from getting scratched. Like I said, on the inside of my pack, I just have a pack liner, and then inside of that is everything that I need. First thing in top is going to be my power bank. This is the Anker 20,000 milliamp power bank. It's got a USB-C port for charging, but you can also charge from it, and then just a standard USB port as well, so you can charge 2 things at once. This thing lasts forever. I think it'll charge my phone like 4 times, and it charges my camera. I can charge my watch, my Garmin InReach, anything else like that. The next thing I have on top is going to be a tarp. So in the late spring to early summer, in my area, it is extremely rainy, especially this season. We've had like more rain than I ever remember having at this time of the year, and it's also been a little cooler than normal. So this is just a tarp that I usually use with my hammock, but in the rainy months it can be really handy to pitch a tarp first and then put your tent underneath of that, just to have some little extra protection and almost have a porch where you can still hang out outside of your tent. I also keep a small compact pack towel in there. These things are awesome. You could soak them in water, and then you can also wring them out almost completely dry, so they're super quick to dry, super light, and really absorbent. The next thing on top is going to be my tent. This is the Durson X-Men 2-person, and it is one of my favorite tents. It's made out of sil poly, which is again really good for the summer months because of how rainy it can get, and sil poly doesn't absorb any moisture at all, which means the fabric doesn't sag. So in the summertime I might switch this out, like late summer when there's not as much rain, I might switch this out for another tent. But this is a tent that's really good for almost any condition. With my tent, my sleeping pad is going to be the Sea to Summit Etherlight XT, and this is the long mummy version, I believe. It's got the tapered end on it. But one thing I really like is the stuff sack is also the pump sack to fill it up. This is one of the most comfortable pads I've used. This was another item I got at REI in the used section for like 70% off. It said that it lost air after their first night of use, but I haven't had a single issue with it since. The next item is another Kuyu Diddy Bag here, and hence the name. Inside of here I carry all my ditties. So the first thing is going to be my Silky Gomboy saw. This thing is amazing for cutting wood. It's also got a 90-degree spine on here, which makes it super helpful for striking a flint and steel if you need it for that. Super heavy duty, super sharp, really good saw. The next item is some gearhead repair tape. I had to use this on the last trip to repair a hole in my food bag where an ember had landed on it and melted a hole straight through, and it actually almost matched perfectly, and it sealed it up super well. I also used this on my hunting trip. My friend's down sleeping bag got a hole in it and was starting to lose feathers, so we used this to patch that as well. Next items in here are going to be 2 headlamps, and I know what you're thinking. 2 headlamps? Are you crazy? No, I'm not. It's always good to have a backup for lights, and especially for me when I'm filming, I need lights at nighttime, so I can always use another headlamp to hook up to something else and film myself. And then this is the main one I use to get around camp. It's the Nebo Rebel, and it's rechargeable with like a mag cable, and super lightweight, and you can also take this off and use it as a separate light as well if you need. I have 3 more items in here. The next one is going to be my fire kit. So I've just got a lighter, a little ferro rod, some duct tape, which can make a good waterproof fire starter, but then I can also use it for repairs if I need. And then I have a couple fire plugs. It's like almost like compressed cotton. You can pull apart and it lights up with a spark. And then these other waterproof fire starters that I love. The next thing in there is my compass. This is my Silva compass, and it actually just broke when I was taking it out, which is not good. So I'm gonna have to try to fix that, or maybe buy a new one. So, because that could be bad if it's not in line. Then the last thing I have in here is a flip fuel valve. So this is just to transfer fuel from one canister to another. If you're just going on one backpacking trip, this isn't something you necessarily need to take, but I like to have it in here just in case I'm traveling out of state or out of my home. So if I have to buy new fuel, I can transfer it to a smaller canister. Next item in my pack, right in the middle where it should be for weight distribution, is going to be my food bag. So this is in a waterproof Rockigator, I believe is the company. I honestly don't know what material it's made out of, but it is waterproof. It's 15 liters, and this has got about 3 days of food in it, so it's a really good thing. So it's a really good piece of gear. I love it, and I keep the carabiner attached on here so that I can hang this up at nighttime when I'm in bear country. So inside there I keep my cook kit. This is the Tokes 950 milliliter titanium pot with the lid. And then inside of that I keep my cheap Chinese stove. I got it from some cheap Chinese survival company, but it's actually worked pretty well. I've used it for about 2-3 years now, and it's still holding up great. And then inside of there I have a bandana, which I can use as a napkin around camp or as a washcloth, dish rag, anything like that. And then my fuel canister. The only other item worth noting in here other than my pot is going to be my Spork. So this is a long-handled titanium Spork that's made by Peak Refuel, the same company that makes the freeze-dried meals. It comes in this case. I probably don't need to keep it in this case, but I do for some reason. But again, just a long-handled titanium spoon in Spork, which is really nice for freeze-dried meals, so you don't have to stick your dirty, grubby hands all the way down in the bag and try to get the last of your food out. Next item, since this is a late spring, early summer, and like I said, we've had some cooler weather, it's just going to be a Patagonia fleece. I'll probably take this out when it gets into mid to late July, because I can just put on my sun shirt and then my rain jackets or rain gear, and that'll keep me plenty warm if it gets any cooler. Last but not least, in the very bottom, I have my sleeping bag. This sleeping bag is the Nemo Disco 15 degree bag, and I keep it in the Sea to Summit water resistant nylon stuff sack. And then one thing I do right in the top here is going to be my pillow. So this is the My Pillow travel pillow, and it's the same pillow I use at home, but obviously bigger. So I like to try to mimic what I have at home for sleeping. It just helps you sleep better outside. So once you take it out of the stuff sack, it will fluff up, and it's just like a real pillow. Super comfortable, it's lightweight, packs down, and fits perfectly inside the stuff sack with my sleeping bag. Well, that does it for all of the gear that's inside of my pack. The only thing left is the things basically that I wear, and the first thing that I'm going to show you that I wear is going to be my shoes. I'm switching this year to the Ultra Lone Peaks. I'm going to try those out this summer versus the Hoka Speed Goats or my Topo Athletic Pursuit shoes. I love both of those. But I do have the Ultra Gators that I think will go really well with these shoes. What I like about these Ultras is they have a really wide toe box, and the Gators, they have a specific Gator hook loop right on the front there that these hook into. These are the Ultra Trail Running Gators. They're super light, almost like spandex material, but they just help keep rocks, sticks, and bugs out of your ankles. And then on the back, it has a built-in little flap here that you can peel down that has built-in Velcro, that the gaiters can hook right to, which is really cool. Another reason I wanted to try these is because this last hunting season in Colorado, I used the Ultra Lone Peak All Weather, and they're the most comfortable boots that I have ever worn in the snow, and they're just the most comfortable boots I've ever worn, so I just wanted to try out the shoes for the summer. The next item that I wear is going to be my sunglasses. These are the Gooder Operation Blackout glasses. They're super lightweight. The frames are kind of sticky, so they stay in your face even when you're sweating or it's raining out. And they're polarized, and they only cost $30, which is really good for a polarized pair of sunglasses. The last item on me is obviously going to be my clothes. Just don't wear cotton. That's all you need to know. I just wear synthetic shorts, athletic shorts, and then a moisture wicking shirt. I do have a merino wool shirt that I wear sometimes as well. And the only other thing that I wear is something that I thought I would never do, and that's going to be a fanny pack. So this is my fanny pack. It's made by a company called Matador, and it actually ended up being the same exact pattern and fabric that's on my backpack, so it matches perfectly. That was just a coincidence. I didn't do that on purpose. But right in the front here, there's a small pocket, and I keep my cell phone and my AirPods. Another really cool thing about this, it's got waterproof zippers, so the entire fanny pack is actually waterproof. And then on the side here, you've got these two buckles, and you've got a little roll top, another waterproof zipper, and you open that, and then you've got a huge pocket on the inside. So inside of there, I'm going to be keeping my Garmin InReach Mini. I'm also going to be keeping a small pack of electrolyte powders in here. This is just some green powder. This is some caffeine energy powder with also electrolytes and minerals. And then Element. I'm going to be keeping a lens cloth so that I can clean the camera. And then also my sunglasses, an extra lighter, a sunscreen stick, chapstick, tick removal tweezers, some blister tape, and then a super lightweight knife. Super sharp, so it'll get the job done for anything that I need a knife for. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any good gear recommendations that you have, drop them down below. Let me know what you like to carry, what's worked for you, and what doesn't. And until next time, stay in the wild.